Welcome back, dude and dudettes, to another wild episode of Send It Mate. We're here to talk about all things hunting and outdoors. And today, we've got something that'll keep your gear running smoother than a dingo's getaway.
That's right. Our show is brought to you by High Caliber, the gun and knife oil company that knows how to keep your firearms and blades in tip-top shape.
High Caliber is like the secret sauce for hunters, anglers, and outdoorsy folk everywhere. It's like the magic potion that makes your gun and knives happier than a dog with two tails.
You know, guys, I've been using High Caliber oil for a while now, and let me tell you, it's the duck's nuts. My rifle practically sings a lullaby when I take it out hunting.
And speaking of lullabies, ever tried sneaking up on a deer with a squeaky gun? It's a prime way to end up with no venison in the freezer. You'll be hungrier than a vegan at a bacon festival.
Absolutely. But with High Caliber oil, your gun will be quieter than a ninja in moonlight. You'll be stalking your prey with the grace and stealth of a mountain lion.
High Caliber doesn't just keep things quiet, it also prevents rust and corrosion, so you won't find your gear looking like it spent a season at the bottom of a creek.
That's right, and for you knife enthusiasts out there, High Caliber has got you covered too. Your trusty blade will slice through anything smoother than butter on a hot biscuit.
So, folks, don't let your gear become a rusty, squeaky mess. Head on over to highcaliber.com.au and grab a bottle of their oil today.
And if you use the code SENDITMATE at checkout, you'll get a special discount. I say again, use the code SENDITMATE for all your oil slick, stealthy hunting needs.
Thanks to High Caliber, you'll be sending it in style and silence.
So, gear up, oil up, and send it, mate. High Caliber, the ultimate oil for the ultimate hunter.
I got a lovely mouthful of chippies.
Say hello to your mums for us.
You've been visiting multiple mums, Josh.
I can't say what I'm going to say here because it's just, it's not tasteful.
It's not tasteful, and I don't have a mum anymore.
Yes.
Yeah, you can't say dads because don't have one either.
Well,
a bit of a pickle there, Josh.
On that awkward note, you've found yourself listening to Send It Mate podcast for another episode. I'm Caleb,
And I'm Josh.
And I'm Couchy.
the Queensland correspondent, in the eye of the storm, surviving. Well, you're not really in the eye of the storm. You're near Toowoomba.
Saturday afternoon to Sunday maybe is where the storm's heading directly for us, but yeah.
Interesting. Well, yeah, as we're recording this, it is the 6th of March, which is just preceding the Cyclone Albert. Oh, now you've done it to me. You motherfucker.
Yeah, Alfred.
Before the podcast, you're like, oh, I keep calling it Albert. Now I just did. Alfred is on its way to hit land in Queensland.
Think of Home and Away Dungeon, Alfred.
Elf.
Oh,
No,
good
that's
one.
category 3. Have you seen the reel on that?
You want to come in my dungeon?
Describe the categories in reference to different elves or Alfreds. So
I'd like to have enough rooms in the house to operate a dungeon. Not necessarily a dirty dungeon, but
Oh, it's going to be a dirty dungeon. It's you.
hey,
Yes.
I just think a dungeon would be a nice soundproof place, somewhere I could set the drums up, mate.
Yeah.
if someone
Have a
screams
bash.
No one's going to hear.
Yeah, bang on some drums.
Yeah. Stretch a few skins
Jesus.
and have a bash.
Yes, you know what I learned today, actually?
Enlighten us.
I didn't actually realise or put two and two together that the Cyclone Alfred is actually the first of the male names for the cyclones, supposedly.
It goes up in alphabetical order, doesn't it? So
Yeah.
back to A.
And it's funny because it was brought up at work today in a meeting that the day that this cyclone's supposed to hit Brisbane is Saturday. Guess what's on Saturday? International Women's Day.
Ooh.
So their first male cyclone hits on International Women's Day. It's kind of ironic. It's good. I like it.
There you
Oh,
go.
how the tides have turned.
Well, this will seem
tables have turned.
completely irrelevant by the time anyone listens to this because it's going to come out well after the fact. But we can make some crazy speculations and predictions.
How about we just release this Monday? Right on.
Keep it chronological.
Yeah. Chronological is more relevant than relevance.
Yeah, I don't know. We record when we can record. Let's. People should just be thankful we're finding the time for this right now, and that you actually have internet, haven't been blown away, but you're far enough from the eye of the storm at this point.
Yeah, if I was in the Goldie or Breeze, I wouldn't be doing this right now.
I'm watching
those guys copping some swells.
Yeah, watching, of course, all the idiots out there. Like some reels today of dudes playing in like the foam in the ocean.
Yeah.
Like grotty. Why would you want to be in there? Why would you want to risk your life just for, I don't know, 10 minutes of fun?
It's Surfers Haven, but that's what it is. At the moment. Did you hear what?
Hey? I don't know. We're all staring at each other blankly right now.
It's Surfers Haven at the moment.
Ah.
So with the swell and the waves. So they're hitting some pretty good waves at the moment. It's good. But you see on social media, people just like, you got two sides of the conversation. You got one that's all for, if hit the wave, if you're a surfer, go for it. Have fun. But the other time is, other side of it is, we're closed. You're not supposed to be outside, especially down on the beach line. Stop being outside. They're like having a crack for having fun.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're in a different state to you, and what I'm consuming in the media ranges from this is going to be catastrophic to it won't be that bad. And you're like, well, what do you believe? You just don't know until it's over, I guess.
I don't know what to take of it. I guess no one really knows, to be honest. So, and this thing's done like doughies in the ocean. It stopped, turned around, done a loop, come back. It's come down to category 1, then it's gone back up to number 2. It's been, I read that it could hit Cat 3 just before it hits landfall. But, who knows? It's just speculation.
Last thing I read today was that it's slowed down, so it might spend more time on land.
Yeah, it's slowed down its movement from east to west, but it's sped up in the process in its rotation.
Fair enough.
So, yeah.
So have you done any prep? Or is this just not a thing for you?
Nah. Like, even if I could prep, I couldn't now. Because the shops are like empty, I think, from what I'm seeing on socials.
I did see people are doing the old toilet paper stockpiling again.
Supposedly there's people from Brisbane coming up to Toowoomba Way to shop because there's nothing in the cities.
Shit.
It's because transport stopped as well. So it may not be panic buying. It's just consumption of the society. And you just don't notice until that like tap gets shut off.
Mm.
You only got like a day or two of consumption in the supermarket.
Yeah, it's a fine line. The other thing I did see was the old free sandbags that were getting handed out. People are flogging them for like $15, $20 each. So they're grabbing the free sandbags that are getting handed out, filling them up, stockpiling them, and then selling them.
Ooh. Entrepreneurs.
Just a little bit of a dog act, really.
I know around this area there was a post saying there was no free sandbags. They supplied sand. You had to bring your own bags and fill them.
I don't think you need anything where you are.
No, I'm good. But that's what just the area was giving. Was nothing, not sandbags, but it was just sand.
Mm.
So, but no, it's something exciting, and I guess not so exciting for Brisbane and Goldie and Sunshine, but it's for me, it's something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, I can't imagine being in a storm that crazy. Really, like we're pretty lucky down here in SA. There's not really anything too hectic. A few 40-degree days, some earthquakes every now and then, which knock over a lawn chair. Yeah, we're pretty safe down here. Other than bushfires, nothing happens. So, yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
We're lacking some energy tonight.
I am
We need some zoosh. You're tired. I'm tired. Josh, you look dead. You're looking at yourself on the screen.
Something I do want to go over though.
Oh, hello.
The last potty we finished off when we mentioned about the Aboriginal stuff. I had a look and did a research. You know how I said that the Aboriginals were on the flora and fauna? Do you remember that?
I mean, yes, I do remember that. Are you fact checking yourself?
I'm fact checking myself and I'm reneging. So they actually weren't on the flora and fauna, but they were probably perceived to be due to the fact that the people that looked after the flora and fauna looked after the actual Aboriginal acts as well. And back in WA, back in the early 1900s, they merged them two groups into one, so they looked after the same people. And it's probably, I'm going to say, it's probably just a rumor that stemmed from that. And I got it wrong. Don't believe what you hear.
There you go. As we've said many times, we are not experts on anything.
So I just wanted to bring that up before someone else. Well, they're going to have a whole week to bring it up before this comes out.
Is that why you want this episode out before the last one recorded?
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah.
Well, you can't now because you've done a fact check. So if we put this out first, it seems stupid.
It seems weird, yeah. So, but no, that's pretty much all I've got for that.
Well, fair enough. That's good, mate. It shows a lot of moral character from you to admit that you were wrong.
Well, it's not just something random that I come up with. It was something significant to people. So I probably should fact check myself.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
How have you boys been anyway?
Man, this is going to be real boring if we get into that because just been working, really. I spent today with a day off work, actually, at a kids' sports day, which, do you know what? Like, for parents out there who've been to kids' sports days, it can be extraordinarily painful to watch. But as long as your kid's having fun, that's the main thing. And you're there to support your kid. And then watch just, it's not a spectacle. It's just a bunch of children attempting very poorly to do various things.
At least you did it. And he supported you.
It's just to such a poor standard that you're like, it's hard to watch. As a sport lover, you struggle for the standard. So it's you love your kids and that's why you're there. So
yeah.
I miss out on way too much of stuff my kids do. So I took the day off and, sat out in the sun and watched 9-year-olds jump over hurdles and sprint and throw a shot put about 3 meters.
3 meters is doing all right.
Nah, I mean, they were getting a bit further than that. But
Do they still do javelin?
nah, javelin's not a thing.
I was good at javelin.
Javelin's not a thing anymore.
Not in primary school.
Why?
What?
Oh, no, I don't think, it's probably high school.
Probably more of a high school thing once people can actually handle weapons.
Mine was primary.
Well, there you go. Might be a private versus public school thing. Like, I went to a private primary school and there was like a hiring of a whole stadium sort of thing for the sports days versus the 2 public schools my girls have gone to. It's like on the school oval and it's a bit like.
I thought that was normal because, I've been public.
It's a bit pov. Anyway.
I thought that's how it's supposed to happen.
Yeah.
It
was a nice day watching kids compete and do well and whatever. But I'm drained. Like, maybe that's why I got no energy tonight. I've been standing out in the sun, bored. Thanks for that, Josh.
That's all right.
That's been your best contribution so far tonight.
And it's still better than yours.
It's the second one. You're not holding back either.
Fucking sassy Kathy. You're right, mate. You wanna take a break or?
No, I'm good. I'm gooder.
5 minutes into it.
Just letting my food settle.
No, that's fair.
Actually, I have a gripe.
Oh, you've got a gripe. Here we go. Come on.
Here we go.
Look, if anything, just default to whining at each other.
So, you know what? When you get yourself a kebab, right, you can never finish. You know how they're wrapped and everything like that? And right at the end, obviously, all the liquid drains to the bottom. But then the way they're wrapped, it like all the filling just gets pushed further and further in that wrapping, and you're like, just that last little bit, you just got to fight to eat it. It's like you're munging out that bag.
It does get messy, but I'm like, you don't have to really fight for it. It's wet.
It's inconvenient because it's soggy and there's...
Nah, it just goes everywhere. It's just, yeah. Someone needs to come up with a kebab cup.
I had a wog mate in uni and we used to get kebabs. Oh, I'm not calling them kebabs. They're gyros.
Yeah.
We used to get a gyros when we were at uni at lunchtime. And we'd go down to the gyros joint and he used to park it, like the base of it, on the table. And then, so he wouldn't bring it up to his mouth. He would just plant it on the table and just take his... Yeah, it looked like he was deep throating it. But do you know what? It was a good technique because it kept the base stable, so you weren't just pushing down and pushing stuff out the end.
Mm.
Yeah,
but
true.
Honestly, you're still left with some mush in the bottom. There's no good way unless maybe you should cut a drainage hole.
No, because then it just goes everywhere. This is why kebabs haven't taken off as a true fast food, because no one has addressed this issue.
Well, let's be honest. Kebabs, fucking gyroses, are mostly consumed whilst drunk late at night. So you're not you don't really care. You just want deliciousness in your gob.
All the best foods are shaped like phallic objects.
True.
Yep.
Yeah, I've got a bloke who I work with, and every time I eat a wrap, like I've given up bread, and I'll make all the sandwich type things in a wrap now. So you've got it rolled up, and obviously it's quite phallic. And every time he walks past me and I'm eating this wrap, he just like gives me a second glance and makes fun of it. I'm like, it's not that fucking funny, dude. Like, yes, I'm eating a wrap. Yes, it looks like a penis. Just let me eat my food.
What's not normal about that?
No, this is when you just own it, man, and deep throat it.
That's when you can never bring a banana into work.
100%.
Who eats banana at work anyway?
Who eats bananas full stop? Oh, what are we, 5?
I don't buy them.
It's been a while. Bananas are good though.
You know what I've been loving lately? The old Nashi pears. We've got a whole bunch of Nashi pears.
I haven't had a Nashi pear since I reckon I was like 7 years old.
Oh, bro, it's the best.
A Nashi pear?
You've never had a Nashi?
What's a Nashi?
It's a pear.
Just a type of pear?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Isn't it like
Probably
a cross between a pear and an apple?
Yeah, pretty much. It's like circular like an apple, but it tastes more
yellow?
peary. Yeah, yellow.
Yeah, I've had them. They're good.
Mm.
They're quite crunchy and juicy.
They are.
But they're like it's a weird consistency. It's not quite peary and it's not quite appley.
Yeah.
Well,
sort of
technically when you eat a pear when it's soft, it's technically past its best point. They're supposed to be crispy.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
But I like to eat a soft pear, but it's not the best time to eat a pear, nutrition-wise, I think. Does that make sense?
No, I get it. Yeah, it's like on the verge of spoilage.
I get what you're saying, but pears when they're hard are virtually impossible to eat. It's like trying to eat a rock.
It's like an apple. It's firm.
It's firmer than an apple.
I don't eat my fruit like that with my teeth because I got
What do you lick it?
like no front teeth.
Gums it.
Shaft it, don't you?
No, I've got front caps on my teeth.
Shells it.
So biting, like I'm too worried about breaking my teeth. So I'll always use a knife.
And then
Always.
you'll chew it with your teeth.
But at the back, not at the front. Because you're obviously grabbing an apple and you're using your front teeth to sort of bite into it.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah,
There's something slightly refined and sophisticated about
a knife.
cutting up an apple or a
100%.
pear and eating it that way.
Yeah.
I feel like it's like whittling on your front porch.
Yeah.
You sort of feel like, I'm just cutting up an apple.
You're like a man.
Something about eating off the knife too, like that single-handed slice and place in the mouth with a knife in your hand.
Maybe it like a K-bar or something.
It's a way of asserting dominance in the room.
He's got a bigger knife.
I'm gonna bring a knife and a actually better work tomorrow.
Do it. You wouldn't do
Well, I always carry a knife with me at work.
that. Don't tell the cops that.
No, well, I've got justifiable reason.
Do you?
Well, opening boxes.
Yeah.
Doesn't work supply you anything?
I don't know, but not personal.
Yeah, I don't think the cops are going to really let that one fly.
Look, as long as it's not.
Yeah. If you've got a reason to, justifiable reason, you can carry a knife.
Yeah, there's like blade length restrictions though.
I've had this conversation. I don't think you'd be able to get away with like a sheath knife. Like, I think a folder, and I think they prefer it to be a tool, like a multi-tool, or a box
has
cutter.
a tool in the name. It doesn't matter if it's a sharp blade. It's just got to be. A tool
Okay,
in the name.
it's a knife tool.
Well,
Just
isn't a
made
K-bar like a doubles as an attachment for a bayonet? It's a tool.
I mean, you're a tool, so that's sort of like a blanket covering
Yeah, exactly.
for anything you're carrying.
What either the knife or yourself are going to be a tool, and that works.
There you go. I'm now going to carry a samurai sword around with me.
Do it. Ryan's probably got one. Go visit Ryan. Go pick one.
Ryan does have one. He used to live on his mantelpiece.
Such a childish thing. I don't like it at all. I'm like, why? Like, it's not like that piece has been made by, I don't know, Xi Jinping's father or something like that.
I mean,
it's a cheap knockoff and it's on a mantelpiece and you're like, why?
yeah, look, it's a low blow to speak of ex-podcast hosts, but my God, he used to collect some dumb shit. Because he was like, he still is, very much an impulse buyer. So he'd see a shiny thing and I have to have that, and he'd buy it. It's a terrible habit to have as well, to just scroll online when you're bored.
Oh, yeah, well, especially when you're bored and willing to spend money.
Yeah.
Like
with Ryan,
I'd love to buy everything I see, but
money would burn a hole in his pocket and he'd just be like, I need to buy a thing.
I get that though. Like,
Do you know why though? Do you know why that brought him pleasure? It's because that's his love language. Gift receiving and gift giving. So yeah. Mine's physical touch. So Josh?
I know that can. So.
Yeah. You guys know that all too well. On those long, lonely hunts.
I don't get the gift giving as a love language. Like, I don't get how that's a thing. Because mine's definitely physical.
I mean, because we're tight asses.
Yeah.
That's why it feels like the most far removed love language.
I think it's like one of the hardest because it's about pre-thought. Where like physical, you just like you can chuck away a spur of the moment, hug and a kiss, and it's not really meaningful because
But like
I mean, it is meaningful, but it's a lot easier.
It is.
It's the easiest one to dish out.
yeah, where buying someone something you've got to actually think about. Actually, I'm coming up this. My missus has got a birthday soon, and it's like, what do I buy you?
so if it was a physical, you just give her a hug, kiss, done.
Once again, yeah, little effort, not much thought. I don't mind acts of
service.
I think one of my favorite, and this is going to sound super super corny. One of my favorite things is like taking her out for a picnic because like I like the like cheese, like prosciutto and what's it called?
Would you class as
Like charcuterie?
Yeah, charcuterie.
That would be a gift giving, wouldn't it?
Nah, it's an act of
Kind of.
service,
It's kind of wrapped up in a few. It's quality time. It's acts of service because you've organised it all.
Yeah. My other favourite thing is
Well,
trying to catch the ducks whilst at a picnic because she'll freak out. She'll be like, no, don't touch it. I'm like, come here. So I'll feed them and try and get them a bit closer and a bit closer.
There was a video of this guy who was eating chips in the car, and he held this chip out of the window, and then this seagull come and grabbed it, and his wife's like just freaking out a little bit. He's like, "Oh, wouldn't it be funny if I just grabbed it and threw it in the car?" And they laughed. And he grabbed the next chip, and he just grabs its legs and throws it in the car. That was hilarious.
I did that to Hayden actually.
Threw him in the car.
No, I threw a magpie in his swag and zipped it up and didn't tell him.
Yes.
Oh dear. You know, we used a milk crate as a trap. You know, you get the old box put on a stick and a little tether, and you sit there and wait, and it worked. And I was like, oh, what do we do now?
I used to do that all the time as a kid when I was bored. Like, set that up in the backyard, catch pigeons.
I did that with mice with a cardboard box.
With mice?
Yeah. So living on property, you had a mouse plague. You sit in the garage. Proper same shit. Proper box and stick with a piece of string. Sit there and wait. They would come out pretty quick. It's not. They wouldn't. Didn't have to wait hours.
It's actually a lot of fun.
Well, it is.
But then you catch the mouse, and then the dogs used to love it as well. So you call them over, and then you lift the box up, and they just tear the mouse to shreds.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. Somehow I can't imagine kids these days doing that. Like, are we retarded, or does kids have no fucking attention span these days?
Just exposed to different worlds, man. Exposed to different things.
We didn't have access to like a plethora of knowledge at like our fingertips. We had wives' tales and tradition.
We had Encyclopedia Britannica.
Yeah.
Imagine the shit you would have got into, though.
The library.
If you could Google at your fingertips how to make like an explosive bomb or whatever that you probably shouldn't be making as a kid, but these days you can just like that.
So much I can go into here, but I don't want to.
Oh, I know some of your stories, but it would have been worse if you had access to
100%.
unlimited knowledge.
Yes. Yes.
You could have done it, refined it, or worked out better ways of doing it. Like,
Yeah.
it would have
I
been
almost
better.
burnt down our neighbour's house actually doing some dumb stuff once, making homemade fireworks as a kid.
It wasn't your neighbour's house on land property.
Well, both ours was, but yeah, like a bit of hot metal set the grass alight, and it just caught on fire and ran. And I'm like, don't know how I'm going to explain this to Dad. I tried to piss on the fire actually to start with to get it out because it was small at the start, and I'm like, no, we got this, it's fine. Started pissing. I'm like, and my area's sort of gone out, but the fire's spread, and I'm like, and that's when it just caught and just like ran, and I'm like,
Heard your stream, man. You wouldn't be able to put out a fucking match.
it was a bit stronger back then, but now it's definitely like Morse code.
I'm just trying to work out what you meant by that. It was small at the start. Oh, the fire.
The fire, yeah.
You had to get it hard first.
Look, it struggled to
You
reach.
can piss further when it's like semi.
Got pressure.
But that was, I don't know, that was actually quite a traumatic event as a kid. Because actually I thought I was going to get in trouble as well. Because I came clean because the fire is rocked up, and we had another one that we had made it was sort of like a variation on an old sparkler bomb that you used to make as a kid, and we had another one on the driveway, and the fire is parked right in front of it. So we thought that, and it's like next to these little rocks and things. With the lighter and everything like that, and we thought, 100% they know what's going on. So we thought Mum and Dad were going to get fined. So I came clean with my parents. I was like, we're just doing some dumb stuff, and I thought I was going to get a roasting, man, and it was fine, like because we pretty much had like a bit of smoke inhalation, I guess you could call it. So me and my mate Pete, we went and had a shower. And then we were just that exhausted that we pretty much went to sleep. The next morning, still waiting for this like backlash of what's happening. And my dad at breakfast just like, I'll teach you how to make a bomb. I'm good. I'll learn after then never to mess with fire ever again, sort of.
So the smoke inhalation was punishment enough.
Possibly.
That sounds off brand for Poiter.
But that's the way you learn stuff as a kid. You're supposed to learn by kind of fucking up a little bit.
Yeah.
You're never going to learn by just not being able to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was, I don't know, super, super weird. Yeah, I think it was that waiting period of just waiting to like get an absolute hiding or something and it never coming. And it's just like, no, look, can you just smack me and get it
Kids
over
these
with?
days do not understand that fear. Like that that period leading up to knowing you're going to get a belting.
Oh, bro, that's
The
the worst.
worst.
Yeah.
Because for me, like, Dad was very much the disciplinarian. Mum was the soft touch. So if
Yeah.
I was if I was acting up at home, like when your father gets home, or even though like Mum would dish out a punishment, you'd listen to her telling Dad what went on. Once he got home, you're like, for fuck's sake, Mum, can you like put a bit less mayo on this? And then, yeah, of course, you just cop a hiding from Dad without any context, without him seeing it firsthand. You're like, cool. So Mum's just given Dad a story based on her fucking how grumpy she was for the day. Added a little bit of mayo. She's emotional, so it's going to sound worse. He's angry at me for being a shit and angry for making her cranky. So I'm copping it. It was terrible.
And you're the oldest, so everything was blamed on you.
But it was a healthy fear.
Look,
I
look.
was never abused, but it was the worst knowing you're going to cop a hiding.
To be honest, I don't mind like a wooden spoon on like the backside or the back of the legs.
In the bedroom?
But I think like a closed fist, even a slap, like open palm on the backside or whatever. But like a slap or a closed fist on the
you're a
face,
man,
I think
Christian
that's pushing the boundaries.
And calling you daddy too?
No, that's not what happened. He's a sick. Honestly, that's DV, both of you. That's DV.
DV?
Yeah.
No.
Dude, like I can
Hitting
just
you- hitting
now,
misses
like,
like
see, no,
Both
I'm just
DV.
imagining you fucking belly down with your little tush in the air.
Hey, Daddy.
Got the wooden spoon.
Hey, whatever gets your rocks off, mate.
Which end of the wooden spoon did you get, Josh?
Probably both.
Handle him first.
Sideways.
I broke many a wooden spoon on
Did you
my
ever get the
mum.
belt? Yeah, no, Mum stopped using the wooden spoon like ages ago and turned to plastic. But like, it was the belt that was the worst thing.
A belt or a cane.
I never got the belt.
My grandfather had a cane,
Never got the cane.
and that was,
Oh,
and they were still in the realm of if it wasn't too bad, put your hands on the dining table and smack your hands. And I'm like, this is terrible.
we've had that with the belt. Yeah, same thing. So, because you'd sort of try and not show that it hurt.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
all right, turn around. Yeah, fuck.
Yeah, the older you got, like, the more you just try to be like stoic and just be like, I'm not fucking crying.
Did your dad ever, when you were real young, go, if you keep complaining, you're going to get another one?
It was a little bit like that. Like,
Not complaining, but
And the other one was, I'm hurting your feelings, not you. I'm like, what do you mean? This is actually hurting.
what? No,
dear.
like there was a bit of one in all in. So if there was no clear perpetrator or instigator of some sort of a fight, we'd all just get punished. That was pretty annoying because if it wasn't you, you still get lumped in with the other
Yeah.
kids.
oh, I should rag him out then.
No, my sisters were all like, I don't know, like they could do no wrong. So,
See, you're being a weird, like,
You're the black sheep.
yeah,
man,
100%.
I'd get in trouble if the girls were fighting, actually. Like, and I'd be next to Dad at times watching the TV. They'd be carrying on, and he'd be like, he'd get all grumpy and just yell out, Joshua. I'd be like, yeah, what's going on? I'm like right next to you. I'm like, I got no part of what's happening back there.
Yeah, I didn't have any sisters, so kind of glad that was the case. Then having 4 brothers is hectic.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to have some discipline in that household.
I'm not sure that was discipline, but there was definitely a belt, and that fear is good.
I don't reckon I might have copped the belt maybe once or twice. Dad had a fucking, those old like louver pantry doors.
Yeah.
So imagine like the pantry doors with the horizontal slats in it, like on an
yeah,
angle,
yeah,
like
yeah. Them wooden pieces.
yeah, the wooden pieces. He took 2 of them out of an old one and duct taped them together. So it was probably
a tool.
yeah, it was probably I don't know
Well, it's got a purpose. Belt.
450, 500 long, duct taped together, and
Used to live on the window
that
sill.
was the smack and stick.
Yeah.
Oh, see, we always used to get a belt just because Dad always wore a belt, so he always had it with him. There was
There's-
no
there's-
way to go for it.
There's
So,
a touch of theatre with that, like taking the belt off How
Oh
wacky
yeah,
it
that's
is.
It's a touch of Uncle Bad Touch. What are you on about?
It was definitely the moments where he started taking the belt off it, and the five of us just sort of starburst.
Yeah, pop smoke. Actually, I've asked this question to myself a few times. Like, obviously, a girl's different, but how do you go? You know, I guess discipline with your daughter. You know, especially these days, you can't smack the kid.
Yeah, you're going
But
to
I'm
be.
against
I had
that.
no idea where that was going.
You're going to be coming into this.
Oh, geez, hope not.
Jesus.
You'll be coming into this era of your life of having to discipline a daughter. Yeah, like when they're little, like a tap on the bum, that works. Like, because it's the most immediate punishment, and it fucking works, man. Like, they know, don't do that, otherwise something's going to hurt me. But when they get to an age, like,
when they can tell people.
when they can tell people.
I've seen a good one, actually, and this is from someone that we know. He made his stepson basically move a pile of rocks like 5 meters away. And, you know, it's not a huge pile, but it's big enough as a kid to seem big. And they weren't like pebbles, they were rocks. So, you know, it was hard labour. And he goes, all right, move that pile to there. Do it now. And the kid would carry on, I'm not doing this, this and that. He'd be like, all right, we'll just wait here till you do it. We're not going anywhere till it gets done. And the kid may have taken a few hours to do it. But
Jesus.
The biggest thing is for them to know that your patience will outlast their carry on. They'll do it if they know you'll fucking sit there and wait for them to do it. So,
yeah, if you give in 1 or 2 times, then you're never going to have it happen.
Yeah.
So it'd be hard with twins, like I'm presuming, because say they're both doing something wrong. Or hang on, how do I put this? Say if one's doing something wrong and one's just there because they're typically together, and you punish one, and then the other one you're like, oh, come sit with dad and you watch TV because you didn't do anything wrong. And so you've got that divide between the two children. You've got that one's being punished. And have you ever done the whole...
It's a double punishment, man.
You're not getting ice cream, you are, because you didn't do anything wrong. Like
100%.
You know.
It's a double punishment because not only are they shitty, they're not getting it. They're shitty, their sister's getting it, and they're not. One that works pretty easily, if they're acting... Like, say we go to the shops and they're carrying on, I'll be like, all right, you do that again, you're losing time off bedtime. As in, you're going to bed earlier. So I'll drop it by half an hour every time I have to speak to them. So we're in the shops. I'm like, you do it again, you'll go to bed half an hour earlier. And they'll do it again. I'm like, right, you just lost half hour.
I suppose that's all you need to say.
And they're like, oh, God. I'm like, you do it again, you'll lose another half hour. And typically we could have one of them half an hour, one of them an hour and a half. And then later on it'll be like, oh, Dad, can we earn it back? But it generally works.
Do you let them earn it back?
Sometimes. If it's just minor infractions, then I'm like, all right, well, if you, for the rest of the night, do everything you're supposed to do and do a couple of these extra chores, you can have the time back. And they'll generally try and, because they don't want to go to bed early. That's the worst.
Oh, that's worse.
And they hate one going to bed before the other one. So that generally works pretty well. And there's plenty of times where I've put them to bed, like they've had dinner and straight into bed. They hate that.
Yeah.
I hate it too because I don't have that much time with them. So if I have to put them to bed early, then it's actually I miss out on time with them as well. But they still got to get punished. Or, you know, you're not playing your Saturday sport or you're not going to a party. They've missed out on parties before because they've been acting stupid with their mum. And the other thing is that because they live between two households, there's none of, I can get away with this now and then I'm going to dad. So it's I get told by their mum, she's done this today. Can you carry out this punishment at your house? So it's pretty consistent. They can't just,
that's pretty
they
good.
just can't have immunity at the next person's house. They'll still cop the punishment. If it's my weekend and they've been shitty on a Friday, then they get the punishment on the weekend when it's my weekend. Yeah. So it's just about consistency. You can find.
Hey, Daddy.
Josh just wanted to press the button.
That was real random. Just
No,
we didn't put him to press the wrong one.
he was talking about punishment.
I just impressed as quick as you found a button.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I know where the button is. It's inside the rectum.
pleased a lot of dudes over the years.
Put my giblets in you, and you put them on the ground.
Giblets. Anyway, that's probably enough waffle for this week. The what do we call it? The ramble, the waffle, the carry on, the fucking spew forth of random ramblings.
What's it called?
I've been enjoying the shoot from the hip, as has the listeners. Thanks for your feedback to those out there who have said they've been enjoying the new format. We've been enjoying it too.
I had a doozy actually this week, and driving home, I've forgotten it, to be honest. I didn't write it down.
Wow, must have been good.
No, it was. I'm like,
The best ones you do forget.
you know, when you think about it and you're like, or you hear it and you're like, oh, that'd be really good to bring to the podcast. And like, it's been such a long week. I'm like, nah, I've forgotten.
I find I have to write it down or I forget. Like, if
Yeah, I
hear a
should
good-
have. But
if I hear a
I
good joke,
heard
I put it in my
the
notes.
car. So I was like, okay.
Where's your commitment? I've pulled over to write notes.
No, you don't pull over ever.
I have
You will just
pulled
sit on
over.
your phone whilst you're driving.
No. Don't
Yes.
don't try and incriminate me.
There's nothing incriminating if it's true.
Pull over, write a little note, and pull back out and start driving again, mate.
Settle
I'm
down.
a responsible driver on our roads.
Most definitely not.
Anyway, calm down. Let's kick away for another edition of Shoot from the Hip. Who's going first? Are we rock, paper, scissoring this or what?
No,
No,
I'm just trying to remember who's gone first the last few times.
I
But
just told you I forgot what I was going to bring. So,
what? You've forgotten everything from what you bring in. You haven't got to back up.
We need to get
No,
into time.
Oh, well, okay. Well, we'll get you last. See if we can come up with something. Go.
All right, so I've got one word for you this week.
Oh. This would be hard.
It's not daddy. So my singular word for you to discuss is resistance.
Fuck.
Cricket. I need to get a crickets on the soundboard.
Oh, how are you supposed to like digress into something?
You can do whatever you want with that word, my
No, you
friend.
can do
This
it.
is the whole principle of this fucking concept.
The hardest part is that you can do whatever you want. So therefore, you got so many options. You could just there's a resistance to come up with a good.
can we get like a pass?
Oh my god.
Oh,
Resistance. So something physical, something.
we know what it is, but it's just a dull and drab. I mean, you can talk about sexual resistance. That's basically rape. I mean, you can talk about I don't know the resistance in France. You can talk about
Do what you want. Do what you want.
none of which I know anything
I'm
about.
This is the point of this fucking thing, man. I'm setting you a challenge by just giving you one word. I'm not giving you a nice little tied up in a bow concept. I'm just giving you one word.
See, with these topics, I kind of try and come up with something that may give thought, but yet encourages a good response.
Yeah, I'm not holding your hand this time.
Yeah, well, this is where you get a shit response.
Right. Well, start. Here we go. Let's do this live. Map out something. Google it.
Fuck.
See, I thought Josh might even go into some gym type stuff like resistance training, like resisting urges, resisting arrest. Like there's all sorts you could do with resistance.
I've masturbated for a while, a few years actually. So yeah, that's a bit of resistance.
How do you go resisting the urge?
That's abstinence, Josh.
Both, but it's resisting temptation.
Well, as a Christian, and you resist the fact of like waiting for that person to marry before, you go
What are you
that
trying to say?
resisting sex before marriage.
Yeah, look, it's super difficult. This is actually something that churches still haven't got down to this day because they don't understand that kids will be kids, and their way of going about it is just no. No girlfriends, no this and that, no everything, and you're like, well, we're all teenagers at one stage, and at some stage, it is hard to fight the urge, and it's not even the urge of sex; it's the urge. Like it starts off with a relationship. This person likes so and so, and then you'll find time to be alone together, and then it just snowballs from there. It does. It happens, and look, it is not biblically right. We should essentially wait for the one that we marry, because in the Bible it talks about when you basically have sex, you become one flesh.
Is it like
every time
Gohan and Goten and Dragon Ball Z when you come one?
No, it's a little bit more than a cartoon. Look, this is true because, like, you've all had a few sexual partners. I don't know what your body count is. We'll say, for argument's sake, Caleb 2, Couchy 40, because you're a good-looking rooster.
Only 40?
Okay, 90.
I have no idea, to be honest.
Let's just say that is. But every time you've done this, you feel something for that person. Whether you want to actively verbalise that or whether you want to believe it's true or not, but you always go back and think about them at some stage of your life. And you think about them in a certain way and more in depth than what you would do if you were just friends or, et cetera, et cetera.
It's called a soul tie.
What? A soul tie?
Soul tie.
Yes.
Oh, soul tie, yeah.
So that's how do I put this? That's a very sort of flowery way to put it. It is the spiritual bonding of two flesh. And this is where, like, I don't know where you're going with the question, but it's not right and we should wait. And you'll find if you do wait, so if you did relive your life, right, Shannon, and you went back before you lost your virginity and you abstained from sex until you found that right person or and you married them, then you had intercourse with them, you'd find that your relationship is actually a lot tighter, typically. I'm not saying in every case, but most people that get married with their first, their relationship is a lot more solidified and stronger, and it's built on a firm base. Why are you laughing?
He saw my face when you said
a lot tighter.
A lot tighter, and he saw the twinkle in my eye. And I was going to say, it wouldn't be time.
It took me about 15 seconds to realise what you're thinking about.
Oh dear.
Look,
But anyway,
I get what you're saying, Josh. Like, we had the same upbringing, and like the way I think about this has definitely changed from growing up in it. And look, that was always the rule. Like, you don't have sex before marriage. You grow up in church; it's pretty strict. Blah 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 blah. But everyone did. Like, you just didn't brag about it or tell anyone. But most people knew that people were doing that. And if someone in a position of leadership found out about it, then there'd be this whole fucking name and shame type thing. And it was. Look, it wasn't fun, but everyone did it anyway, including me. And what I have noticed, and now that I'm a little bit older and wiser, is I guess they did that in youth groups and churches. They just had a blanket approach and very hardline, no, don't do anything, because it's the only way you can sort of manage a bunch of people. And you don't want a youth group, for example, all fucking each other, because it does create a heap of dramas. So they they have to be hardlined on it. I get it. But then now that I am a bit older and wiser, and I've observed people that have got into relationships when they're like 17, 18, and especially in churches, like, people just get married at 20 and 21 so they can have sex. And
It's
it
just that
never
card.
lasts because you don't actually know who you really are till, for a dude, it's not till you're around 30. And people just get together at this young age.
See,
And then it falls apart massively, man.
a lot of the time, those couples are pushed into marriage at such a young age because they're caught doing something, and they're given by the church an ultimatum. Okay, you've done this, so now
like,
you need
get
to
married
make
or
it right
break
and
up.
get married.
Yeah.
Yeah, or leave the church. Almost.
or
That's
he's
where
not-
it
he's
is.
not
It's
her
none
up
of the
and-
church's fucking business, to be honest.
Look,
It is and it isn't.
it is the parents' ultimate responsibility, and there's not enough education on what it means spiritually and physically to be with someone, and it's just avoided. So, and it's just a hard no without any. You can say no to someone, but if you say no and then give them a reason, they're going to be a little more open to going, oh, okay, all right, maybe I'll listen.
Yeah.
You know, if it's just a no, they're going to be like, well, you're just saying that because you're an adult. And that's it. And you are right. They're pushed into relationships far too early because they're doing something wrong already in the eyes of the church. And you are right. You're not a man till you're 30, really. You haven't found yourself till you're 30. And this essentially gives us a map of the age when you should be getting married, when you should be doing these things, because you're of a sound, mature mind.
There's no way in hell I can imagine being a virgin until I'm 30, though.
No.
And to be
here's
honest,
the issue.
like,
It's a huge issue.
with
It is.
with the wisdom of hindsight, like, you know, the whole try before you buy thing. Do you know, if you're fucking 17 and you start going out with this hot chick from church, and then she's maybe a bit older, maybe not 17, but maybe she's just maybe actually just not sexually compatible, but you get married just to be able to have sex, and then you're married, you're locked in, and you're like, this is shit. Like, that's terrible.
Bro, you won't know oil painting the first time you did it either, mate.
But then
You'll be
again, I
like,
guess you could say
"Oh."
that you both waited till that moment, therefore you should grow together in that moment.
And this is where I think sex for couples go wrong quite badly because they're not communicating. I don't think there's enough asking the other person what feels nice. What do you want me to do? Is there anything that you want to try within reason? You know,
Look, I hear what you're saying here. Like, I think 100% sex. This is the fucking view. I think sex in a committed relationship is a million times better because you get to that point where you know the other person so intimately. You know everything. Like, you know what makes them tick to the deepest level.
see,
Yeah.
you do, but also it's a gift, right? Even if you're terrible, everyone's terrible at it the first time and first, probably a couple of years, really. But you got to think about the other end of this. Of if you both waited, it is a gift that you can give to your partner that you can only give once. Yeah, that's how special
taking
it
each other's
is.
virginity.
Yes, you can only do it once. It's not like you can redo that moment. So it is, and although it's terrible, you're like, well, this is my gift and my promise to you because I have not done it with anyone else. And if you take that out of it, it just becomes, how do I put this, meaningless, senseless in a way. To a degree.
I wouldn't say it's meaningless or senseless. But
I think it's good to practice at the range before you shoot a deer.
get your range days in.
Wouldn't you rather fast track, like actually know what you're doing to a degree before you start doing the old?
I've had this conversation with the missus actually, and I've said to her, I said, "Oh, look, with hindsight, knowing that I'm with you now, if I could go back, I would have waited 110% just for you,
Till you were 36. That's
whatever
insane.
it was.
No, it would have been 30 something.
Blue ball.
I don't even remember, but
You
I would have waited. That's fine. And although we both understand that's probably impractical.
I think just purely to say that, I feel like is quite a stretch, man.
Yeah.
There's no way, even if you knew that you would wait.
Look,
So, no offense, but
Inherently,
Okay, you're right. It'd certainly take a lot of discipline to do. But knowing what I know now and the connection I have with my missus, I would have loved to have been able to give her that gift, as terrible
But
as it might have been.
half the connection only the fact that you know what your connection is. Like, you know where and how you like it and what you like about the certain people and what you don't like about other people.
Yeah.
Shows you what you do like about others.
Look,
definitely, 100%. I agree.
So it's
look, that certainly
like
comes
a-
into play, but
You
you
waited
don't
a
know
minute
what
to
you don't know, mate. So if you haven't tried anything, well, and you've waited for that first person, it is that beautiful, that I guess, for a lack of better words, that it is that next step. It is that you know, because you don't know any different.
Yeah, see the way I see it is like I don't regret my past, and the good times and the bad times that's happened in the past has got me to where I am now.
Yeah.
And if I could just delete sections of my life if I didn't like it, how much would that change me now mentally? Would I be the same person?
Yeah, but
I don't
you don't know if it would be a better change, and you won't know because you can't go back and change.
You never do, so therefore you just accept what you are.
But
now and
we've all gone through way too many hard times in these wrong decisions, especially when it comes to females, that maybe we could have waited, been a little bit wiser, observed other
Fucked each other
people
instead.
that are doing the wrong thing and how many mistakes they've made, and made that one that we chose more special. So I believe you can.
There's been some ones in my 20s that I probably could have moved on quicker.
Yeah.
But yeah, you go through that process and you learn from it. So,
But you also, we were all in our 30s before we all found what I'd consider, okay, the people that we're going to have a high chance of spending the rest of our life with. You know, so that's got to say something as well. If you're looking at it from an educational way that you're breaking it down to, you're like, oh, I've made all these mistakes, but I've found one now. Okay, we'll look at that as an educational thing.
You've gained
yeah,
experience
it's
and
definitely
knowledge along the
educational
way.
over. Yeah,
Look,
Yeah,
it'd be an ideal world if you can find the right person from the start, take each other's virginity, and stay together forever.
Oh.
Do you think there's an element of wondering what something else would be like?
Look, as a male, yeah, man, we all walk past as males, like chicks in the shop or whatever, and you look twice. Yeah, even chicks do it. But as males, we're driven by a hormone that, like a person, it's directly responsible for a sex drive. That women have estrogen, which do other things, not just sex drive. Testosterone is pretty much just a sex-driven hormone, and that's running through our body all the time. So to say that you don't wonder about other things that's not true, because we all do. Is it right? No. Still doesn't make it right just because we do it, because you can control yourself over it. I think I stated before I haven't cranked one out for a few years, and prior to that I had a bit of a turn, and before that it was like a year and a half.
I also wouldn't call it wrong either, because like it's definitely a natural thing. Like, yes, you can control it, and yes, you do choose how you if you action it, but
You do.
the fact that it is I guess a temptation is purely natural.
It's a bodily function.
Look, and yes, we are made to reproduce, you know, but with that, because we have a conscious being, we also need to make sound decisions. Otherwise, you'd have 50 children running around right now to 50 different Sheilas, right? That can't happen. You know that because you've got a conscious mind. If you weren't conscious, you'd be an animal, and that would be fine. That'd be acceptable. But you have a soul, and that explains your love, that explains your emotion, your anger, your happiness, your sadness, your sex drive. So you now have a conscience that you're aware of about your sex drive, and you've got to make the right choice, right? And we're also especially in this day and age, we're tempted by the devil, especially when it comes to sex, because sex sells. So it's in our face more than ever. Even when we were kids, instead of looking at Target mags and scrolling through the bras and things section,
down.
right? You're just jumping online and Googling like 12-inch anal or something like that. I don't know.
Wow, we just got an insight into your Google history.
Well, I don't know, but whatever you Google, it's right then and there.
12-inch.
You know, like that is a temptation in ourselves that perpetuate, and that actually looking at porn is also directly involved in aggression and violence, and I don't agree with it. That's why I don't look at it.
Porn? What? Or that porn itself is related to that?
So, looking at porn.
Oh, you've set him off again.
Has it comes with some issues, and one of them is violence. The other thing is the degradation of what's acceptable to a woman.
Is it more the fact that you watch, just say, first time watching porn, it's just generally just normal sexual encounters, and then because you can access that information so readily, therefore you try and step it up a bit more, and you get into something a little more kinky, and then it just escalates over time.
That's why Josh is now on 12-inch gaping assholes.
This is the whole, like Caleb was saying, try before you buy sort of thing. When you look at porn, suddenly what's abnormal becomes normal and boring.
Desensitized.
And boring.
And you delve and you start looking for more weird and crazy things.
We've seen this, though, like not just porn, it's just with everything.
We've seen this with people that we know and how convoluted their relationship has gotten because of the abuse of sex. Now, I'm not saying that you're going to do that because you look at porn. You might have a stronger will and more discipline than they. But at some stage it gets boring. At some stage you start looking at things that you may not particularly Google. And look, the adverts on all those porn sites will bring it up. So whether you're actively searching for it or not, you might just come across a thumbnail and be like, oh, that looks interesting, click on it. And then you might not think about it for 2 years, be like, no, that was disgusting. But then maybe you go back into it. And once again, it is degrading.
This sounds like an insight into your psyche, man.
I can guarantee you all been there.
Yeah, but you know what? Sometimes it's just interesting to explore something you wouldn't in real life. And you can make that separation, right, this is unrealistic, but you know what? It's a little bit
you can make that separation
to go down
now.
there. Not, and I agree with you, not everyone is that strong of mind to go, hey, or are not experienced in life to know, hey, you can't just fucking jam it in someone's ass dry.
But now,
you actually have to do a thing called foreplay.
This is right now. You think this way. 5 years' time, when say your relationship gets a little bit vanilla or a bit tiresome, what's to say that you don't think back about what you've been intrigued about now and brought that into it? Does that make it acceptable? No, it doesn't.
Well, it does if I apply it.
Not if it's at the belittlement of another person.
No, but if you're in a loving relationship where you're both on the same page.
What shit are you watching, Josh?
And you want to go, hey, you want to try this? If you're both on board, have at it. Doesn't matter how weird and wonderful it is if you're two consenting adults and it's not affecting anyone else.
It's communication about what you like, Josh.
Exactly.
We need to have more of it.
But if it's, right, we want to, I don't know. The sky's the limit, man.
Look, go your own way, mate. All right? I'll Zuzu that up. Go your own way. We'll have a conversation about this in another 10 years' time.
We will.
And you all would have changed, and I may have changed my tune as well.
You'll be getting pegged by then.
Don't think so. No. I've let one Indian doctor touch my butt, but never again, mate. Never again.
We'll get to the age, Josh.
Never again.
Well, I love that we've managed to talk about that for an extended period, even though there was some initial resistance to talking. Gone down a real rabbit hole. But hey, we can talk about anything. You got anything to bring to this, or you just want to wrap it all into one, Couchy?
No, I was wrapping all. No, I feel like that was me.
Yeah, I feel like that was your question, Shannon.
I prompted that because I feel like this is going to be a good question because both of you can relate to it. And then, as we do, we digress. But I just wanted to get the words flowing.
Well,
So,
yeah, I don't
Josh,
know
what do you got?
how do we summarize that, but
I don't know how you
I
summarise
think
that either,
we
bro.
let it be.
Read your Bible more. Make good decisions. I don't know. Stop masturbating. Stop looking at Pornhub. I don't know.
Just
Look,
work
I'm-
it out.
Or go your own way.
I'm pretty happy with how I'm operating right now. So
Yeah.
it's
I
all
like your turn,
it's a
Josh.
sum of all the
Just do
parts.
Yeah, I'll
Just
see
do
it,
it.
mate.
Yeah,
I like it.
go your own way.
All right. Mine's a little different to what you gave. Mine's a few more words.
Oh, well done.
All right. Yeah, you're thrown into an arena and you must fight 3 grown lions to death. You got to choose an ally to fight alongside you. Who do you pick? What's your strategy? Option 1 is a medieval knight in full armor with a sword. Option 2, a silverback gorilla. Option 3, a genetically engineered wolf that's the size of a horse.
The fuck's a wolf?
A wolf.
A wolf.
Okay, he said wolf.
Oh, shut up. Option 4 is a battle-hardened samurai with a katana. So,
Can you run through the options again? Knight, silverback, wolf, and what? Samurai.
samurai, yes. So, and I just say the silverback and the wolf know they're fighting for you, not against you. So, we'll take that out of the way.
Okay, can I?
Can we add a third or a sixth?
And you only got to choose one of those 4.
Okay.
Actually,
What
if
have you got?
If you've got a 5th or 6th, let me know.
What have you got on you?
What do I mean? What have I got on now?
What are you choosing?
Like as a person
Oh.
standing there in that arena, do you have any weapons, or you only have these other?
You have an AR-15, but with one round.
There's nothing like I haven't really thought about that and what you got, but let's say no firearms.
So like a knife,
You can have a knife, but that's part of your strategy. What
naked.
you just,
It's the last thought point that you want to be a shy guy.
Creating a porno.
naked with a knife next to a medieval knight.
Look, I'll go first. So I'll pick the silverback, and I'll have a knife, like a decent sized knife. The silverback's on my side, yeah.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is immediately sacrifice the silverback, who will not resist me fucking stabbing it somewhere where it's going to die pretty quickly, and then open a giant wound in it, and then attract the lions to go eat.
Here, kitty.
I'm just going to sacrifice the silverback. The lions are going to eat it, and I'm just going to leg it and fucking get out of there somehow.
Oh fuck! I pictured you hiding in the carcass while they're coming to eat, and you stab me in the throat.
I've seen you run, bro.
Hey,
Like, you ain't out running a line.
hence
Well,
why
that's
they're just going to be
thumbsticks
so
running
busy eating this delicious silverback that they're not even going to care about
Oh,
me.
so you're turning on the silverback.
100%. He's dying and I'm staying alive. He becomes lion fodder and I am out the door.
I actually feel like you'd have a better
shit.
chance if you left the silverback gorilla fighting with you.
Nah. 'Cause 3 lions. 3 lions, like, as a group, they're just going to pick you off and then take the silverback down.
But you could jump on the back of the gorilla with your knife.
That's pretty hard to hang on while he's swinging around. And I think 3 lions are going to take on a silverback pretty easily.
You just wanted to tear open a large black object, didn't you?
It's a strategy. He's asked what my strategy was.
Yeah.
It was a 12-week
I'm
knife.
going to create a food source for 3 big lions and then fuck off.
Okay.
Done.
Fucking.
That's my strategy.
I'm going to rate that out of 1 to 10. I'm going to say
No, I'm going to say it's a
4.5.
It's a 4 for. I guess it's creativity, but
Survivability.
it's probably like a 9 out of 10 for survivability.
Right, Shannon, you got to clip this up and people have got to rate our strategies.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do that.
Cool.
Joshua.
All right, I got my first thought, but I'll go back into your stipulations after I've said my first thought. My first thought.
Post move.
No. I'm just going to give you my. But I'm going to adhere to the game. But after I've said my 2 cents. Mm-hmm. First thing is David killed a lion with his bare hands.
Oh my God!
So
Cool.
hey.
I'm calling this episode Sunday School with Josh.
So look, that's what I'd just pick. My bare hands and big fella upstairs. But look, adhering to your stipulation,
That big fella downstairs.
I feel. So it was the gorilla, the knight, the samurai.
Yeah. And a wolf. It's a wolf the size of a horse.
Like a dire wolf.
Nah.
Yeah. Bigger. It's bigger than that. Dire wolf is probably like a pony.
Nah, I reckon 3 lions are going to have it.
This is genetically engineered wolf as well. So
was it?
Not just an average.
Were the lions that weird lion species from that one place that are huge? Oh, what are they called? Google it quickly. Biggest lion.
Give me a second.
I feel like there's
largest breed of lions.
African lions, mountain lions.
Nah, it's a specific one that was like double the size of it. I think double the size of a mainland island or lion, mainland island.
The largest lions today are found in the sub-Saharan Africa. The Barbary lion.
That's it. The Barbary lion. That's it. And they were like twice the size or larger, notably larger, I'll say.
They can grow up to 1.8 to 2.5 meters long. 2.5 is a decent length, not including their tail. Holy shit.
I think you'll find the biggest big cat is tiger.
225 kilos. You know your house cat, if it wants to tear you to shreds, it pretty much will. Imagine a lion.
In 5 kilos. Yeah, okay.
No.
I'll just boot that thing onto the power line.
No, I mean, like your cat. Like, if it really wanted to turn on you, it'd cause some damage. But you turn that into a full lion, and it's having the same attitude.
Oh, bro, this is like the whole grizzly thing, like going up against a grizzly.
What my thought was probably the genetically engineered super wolf, due to the fact it's the size of a horse, speed, loyal, it's powerful. Hoping that it'll just be able to pick off one of the 3 that are more vulnerable, and the size of it, it'll be able to destroy a lion quick.
Convenient if you just want to jump on its back.
I don't know, man, because the lions take down like Cape buffalo, and they're as big as a horse. So, and they don't do well.
No, but this lion, what? This lion is the big size of a horse. This is a Cape buffalo sized lion.
It's a wolf you're talking about.
Yeah. You forgot your own story.
I did.
No, it's a buffalo sized, wolf, yeah.
Yeah, so, but my argument was lions take down buffaloes. So the size I don't think matters. Yeah, I think they're going to go.
Different. Like, anyway, let's not try and just destroy my idea. What's yours, Josh?
Oh, this is difficult.
Less difficult than resistance.
I'm going to go the samurai.
Why?
One, he has a rather large, long sword, which you're all going to pull apart, which can easily pierce into the vitals of a lion.
He's accessing the last time he was on Pornhub in 2019.
And 2...
Asian porn.
Are you going to have a samurai as well and just put the lion on a spit?
Google, long sword.
2, I feel like samurais are quite agile and nimble, like they're nimbly things, and they're fast. They've spent their lifetime working on that. So I feel like a lion's going to approach and run at him. He's going to be like in Kill Bill. He'll just step to the side and slice its face off and then move to the next one.
Google, quick penetration.
Yeah, samurai can be handy to have.
And I'll just sit back and crack a beer and watch him do all the work. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no worries.
I'll sit down.
I'm not even going to help.
The goat tied to the stake, and I'll just let you go at it.
A samurai yourself and at least attempt to.
Wouldn't need one, I don't reckon. Yeah.
Not even backup sword.
3 moves, the lion, all 3 would be dead. 1 move, a lion.
So you got 3 lions, then you got a samurai next to you, and then you got yourself with a couple of pom poms, and you just cheer them on.
Just a beer. crack a coldie, sit back and enjoy the show. Dinner and a show. I don't know. Look, let's face it was never going to be the medieval knight because as soon as he gets knocked over, which is going to happen, he ain't getting off the ground because that stuff weighs a ton.
What if it's like, is it the Mountain? Is that his name from Game of Thrones?
Yeah, he's a big boy.
Yeah, that guy in like a full suit, long sword.
Okay, we're moving the goalpost now.
Well, it's a medieval knight. Like, is that guy not your pet? Like the person you think of when you think of a medieval knight?
No, I think of some clown like clanging around the place wearing a helmet and a shield and making a lot of noise.
Yeah, but
what's
the Mountain in armor?
I'm thinking like Alexander and what's that knight pulls the sword out the stone and he's like a wimpy kid.
Arthur,
that's it. That's what I was thinking when I thought about knight. But
yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, like your Crusades, English knights type thing.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was never going to be a thing, I think. And the silverback, he's probably just going to be really sitting there, pulling poo out of his ass and eating it.
Hence why I sacrificed him. Made him a meal and pissed off.
Yeah, which, I get that, and that's probably all you can do. Although, as soon as he does grab a line, he's just going to rip that thing in half. So I feel like there'll be some go and some flight there.
I mean, it's a silverback, not King Kong.
Those things are huge, bro.
Yeah, they're big, but
and they're like
3 lion take on big?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. Can we Google?
Give me some dimensions of a silverback. Like lions.
I know, but
lions are like around the 200 kilo mark. Maybe 500 kilo for a silverback. There's a lot of muscle there, but size wise, what are we talking?
You have to fluff a little longer.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm looking at some specs on lions here, and it's saying weight range 160 to 195 kilos, length range 2.7 to 3.5. I'm assuming that includes tail.
Largest silverback is weighing at 267 kilos.
Okay, so not much bigger than a lion.
No, 1.4 to 1.8. Actually, if a lion, just say those big lions stood up, could be taller than a silverback. Fuck, that's a big lion.
So they're actually similar dimensions, just a bit chunkier.
Yeah, silverback's a bit more of a
kind of like me and John.
I feel like they're running through your silverback and going straight to you, and you running's just going to be like dinner and a show for the lions.
Well, he hasn't said how far we start apart. Like, are they at one end of the? Are they at one end of the
continent?
Are they at one end of the arena? Like, is there like 100 meters distance? Does that give me time to slit the throat of the silverback who's trusting me, who's on my side?
Oh yeah, because you're gonna have time to do all this.
I'm gonna be like dead. Open up a wound channel.
I feel like even if the silverback's fighting for you, if you try and slit in his throat, it's just like, no, fuck off.
Gotta have like a dramatic dying scene here. Like,
you're the sacrifice for the lions. He just grabs your arm and throws you to the lions and he runs away.
Well, let's take this a step further. Are we asking the strategy to survive, or are we just asking the strategy to play that out?
Well, ideally you want to survive.
Yeah, sacrifice the silverback. Lions are fed. They're not hungry anymore. I've got time to just find an escape. Maybe a nice person in the crowd in this arena will hoist me up over the fence.
Now it's the Colosseum.
Well, in my mind, it's a Colosseum. There's a crowd. They're all watching, like the old gladiator type arena.
Yeah, it's like a thumbs up, thumb down.
I'd watch just before they just drag one claw across your stomach and gut you like a pig. I'd be like, I told you so, Caleb. In the crowd.
And I would hear your whisper amongst the roars of the screaming women.
Yeah. Yep. I'd be like, look at me. Look where you are.
Well, am I a hero? Like, at this stage, am I a gladiator hero, or am I just some pleb who's chucked in an arena trying to survive?
You're yourself, so you're a pleb.
Yeah, look, your predecessors were physical specimens, with 6-packs and Spartan
Yeah,
warrior.
you got a
looking-
leather top on that has a 6-pack on it.
Look, I had a six.
and a hamburger in the other.
I had a 6-pack 16 years ago.
Oh,
And then I got married and depressed.
Yeah. A little.
Goodbye 6-pack.
Actually, I really like this. I like this a lot.
I like it a lot.
Mind games.
I feel like, can we use rocks and sticks and stuff that's around us?
Chuck dirt in their eye.
Well, that's where I think if we wanted to do this, we could probably make it a little thing and actually set out a scene as well. So, I'm not sure if we do that tonight. If we do it,
You want to go get?
Well, you
some
want to act
gas
it out in real life?
yeah.
What do you mean? Set a scene.
No, but like
Chuck the mic packs on and play it out.
Yeah, but you got to set up the scene before you actually carry out the event. So, whoever you'll do it again, but with a little more detail on surroundings and limitations and what
If you want to write a screenplay every week, fill your boots. Can you storyboard it as well?
It's like, what is it? What? Fucking, what's that board game that they actually role play it? Can't think of it.
What?
Dungeons and Dragons.
Warhammer, Dungeons and Dragons, stuff like that.
Oh,
Yeah, it sounds like that.
I've never played Dungeons and Dragons.
Well, no, neither. But
Sure.
just see stuff online. But yeah, no, we can do something else next week, I reckon, and make a different setting for it. Or unless someone else is listening,
All right,
to have their own topic.
So what you're trying to say is, if you're going to bring this sort of scenario, be very descriptive on
100%
the description.
setting.
Yeah, be very descriptive of the description. That's real good English, Caleb. Well done.
It is.
Yeah.
Be specific about where you're at in a lot of detail. Right. Well, has that been long enough for you to remember what you were going to bring to the table, Josh? Or
But I've come up with one.
oh, well done.
Yeah, in amongst fighting lions and Dungeons and Dragons.
And Pornhub.
Yeah.
Dragons.
Oh yeah, can we get a dragon in this lion fight? Can we have a dragon? Oh, which dragon are you choosing out of Game of Thrones? Oh,
I don't remember their names.
oh the biggest one, the coolest one, obviously.
I'd have more. I'm not going to mention. I'm not going to mention the fucking book series my missus is reading.
Harry Potter.
No, all the women are reading this series called Fourth Wing.
Never heard of
It's
it.
about dragons. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
You'll be watching the series
it's
next week.
smut. It's like, yeah. There's dragons mixed with sex, mixed with violence. The females are getting around it.
So it's written porn.
A little bit. And thankfully, she has not bought any dragon-related things to the bedroom. So
It's a dragon-related dildo.
she also exercises a very strong mind and just delves into some things that are a little bit fantastical and doesn't demand them of me, Josh. She's a healthy woman.
Don't believe any of that. to be
So
honest.
you see a rubber dragon tail on the bed.
Look, I consented, okay? Look, I did actually read the first one because she's like, this is so good. Read it. I'm like, no. So I read there's there's 3 out. She's read all 3. No, it's just like a normal sort of novel type thing. I read the first one. I'm like, the writing is actually fucking shit. And it was the weirdest thing to read a novel with the main character being a female. So you're like, first person is from a female point of view.
Yeah.
So when it gets into the sex scenes, you're just like, I don't.
Yeah.
What's going on here? Like, I couldn't get it because like most novels I've read, like I like Wilbur Smith and Matthew Riley. There's 2 authors that I've read pretty much all their books. It's always from a dude's perspective, and the sex scenes are, there's just a sprinkling of them. It's mostly an adventure.
I haven't read a book in fucking years.
You can tell. Look, I definitely don't as much as I used to, but it's nice every now and then just to have a read. Remember what it's like. It's better than a movie in some ways because you're imagining it exactly the
Once
way
you
you
get
want
into
to.
a book, it's pretty good. And then you watch a movie of it, and you're like, that's not how it happened. Or you picture a character a certain way, and you're like, you're not that person. But
No.
I agree.
Yeah,
When you get into it, you sort of can't put it down.
yeah. My missus and all her friends are getting into smut, which is there's various series. So one's the dragon ones. There's another one. I don't know what the series is called, but it centers around hockey players, basically ice hockey. And who knows what the other series? There's like 3 different series she's reading.
Glad it's you, not me.
Why?
So we kind of got into Joshua's topic, and then we stopped.
Yeah, we derailed that heavily. Sorry, Josh. Go.
Okay, so story time.
Story time.
I was telling a mate today, a bloke today, about our adventure in Vic High Country where we were suspended for a short period of time by a winch.
By the winch rope, yeah.
King's winch.
That's good fun.
That's not a King's winch. It was a Iron Man winch. Not much better.
Still don't trust it. But it just made me think, and I thought this earlier today actually, what was the most frightened you had ever been as a kid?
Waiting for a fucking Belton.
Yeah.
Think more
The most frightened I've ever been as a kid.
more like try and bring it to like an adventure or something that you had as a kid. Or, if you were touched by an uncle.
Maybe you liked it and you weren't frightened.
Maybe before he took the belt off. Or as he was taking the belt off.
Maybe you had to take the belt off.
That's quite descriptive,
This is
Shannon.
dark.
Please tell us more.
Please don't.
I didn't fare well with the dark as a kid. So that's probably like when I grew up on property in Western Vic. Anyway, the driveway had all these like tall gums on the side of it for probably a good 200 meters. And in the dark, when your imagination just goes wild, going through there, you'd see faces in the trees. And yeah, I think that just freaked me out a lot. That area. It doesn't seem like much at all, but just at night time, I feel like the imagination ran wild, and that's when I'll probably get freaked out.
Did you ever do when you had to like walk that stretch by yourself, like the whole speed up just to get to the front door or the door?
100%. The front door was probably a good 300 meters away from the stretch of trees as well. So you had to get through the stretch and then get back to the house. So I can't recall any other time where I was just like absolutely freaked out.
I got one. I went to the Royal Adelaide show with Dad when I was, I reckon, 5 or 6. And we went in the haunted house. And I was like, yeah, whatever. This will just be like, there'll be some ghosts on the wall or whatever. But I can't remember all the exact details. It was that long ago now. But essentially, you walked through this haunted house, and it was like a corridor type thing. And there'd be some pictures on the wall with faces that moved or whatever. Things would jump out in front of you. But Dad's walking along in front of me, and I'm behind him, and something touched me on the back. And I was like, what the fuck? What was that?
We didn't use the F-bomb back then.
I didn't say anything. I was like, Dad, something touched me. No, it's all good. Kept walking. Something touched me again. And I'm like, and I looked behind me, and it was just black. And I started to get really panicky. Like, imagine a kid just like right up behind Dad, like almost pushing him over to get out the way. Like something is touching me. And we kept walking along, and something like put its hand on my shoulder and grabbed me. And every time I looked back, there was nothing. It was black. And I was freaking the fuck out. And I'm like, Dad, we got to get out. And I started panicking. And we got to the end, stepped out into the daylight and looked around, and a guy popped out with a big grin on his face, and he was fully clothed in black with like black on his face as well. So all you could see was his eyeballs. And he was just walking along behind people and touching them silently.
Fuck yeah.
And I'm like, I remember that freaked the fuck out of me, because every time I looked behind, there was just blackness. I couldn't work. There's a spider just crawled down your shirt. Oh, no, sorry.
Fly.
That's a fly. I thought it was a spider.
Or an ant or something.
It's an ant.
Anyway, side note. So that's probably, I reckon, the scaredest I was as a kid. At 5 or 6, that'd freak you out.
Yeah.
100%.
Definitely.
I'm like, is this actually a ghost? What's touching me?
I didn't know you went to the Royal Show at 6 years old.
I reckon probably the one and only time I went as a kid.
It's really not much to it, though.
Nah, it's terrible.
It's shocking, man. It's a waste of money.
There's way too many people there, and that's what annoys me.
Yeah. It's not,
And
the
you spend
area's
like
not big enough
$400
in
and
Adelaide.
done.
Like, it is just jam-packed. I remember when it was less crowded, I did the Yellow Brick Road, actually. That was pretty cool. The one and only time I went as a kid. I loved it because you got to, like, try the honeys and ice cream, but then you got to pat all the animals and that. Yeah.
Try the honeys.
Yeah, well, honey. You never tried the honey that they sell. It was like this, I don't know who it was.
Oh,
but stands,
yeah, okay, yep, cool.
Yeah.
Wouldn't say that was a highlight as a child, taste testing some honey.
Have you eaten my mum's cooking?
Okay, maybe that was like
Yeah, exactly.
it's a sweet treat.
All right, so we got gum trees freaking you out and
Haunted house.
and a haunted house. That's the scariest thing.
I can't honestly remember anything else too scary. Like
No.
I can relate to couch here with darkness because
darkness freaks all the kids out.
we had like a 70s style home growing up, and it was pretty much the main living areas, which was all walled. So they were all like, it wasn't open plan. And even the kitchen and dining room were segregated. And then a front lounge room, and then pretty much a hallway with your bedrooms. And everyone used to go to the TV room on the other side of the house, and you get told to go to bed, and you'd have to do like the walk through the house, and obviously switching off of lights was a thing growing up. Like, you couldn't leave a light on, so you have to walk through, and it was like pitch black and no one around. And you just finished watching. Actually, the biggest one was Jag, and I still remember the episode.
Oh, Catherine
Jag.
Bell. Catherine Bell.
That's a good show.
Yes.
Yes. But it was a show where something had happened, and they like made it seem eerie, but it ended up just being these bad dudes with night vision goggles. But there was like a green around their eyes from the night vision goggles. And I remember walking to my bedroom and just being that freaked out. And I got like halfway down the hallway, and I was like, no. I run back into the TV room. I'm like, oh, there's someone in the hallway. And my dad's just gone, go to bed. I'm like, oh, damn it.
Imagine if there was someone in the hallway. Like,
oh, yeah, man. Yeah. But overcoming that was, I don't know, as a little kid, it's always a thing, I think. Like, I dare say most kids are scared of the dark at some stage.
Yeah.
yeah, that's natural.
It's fear of the unknown. You can't see the boogeyman.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't recall anything else that I was like, yeah.
Yeah, like I was never in a car crash or an airplane going down or anything scary. Like no natural disasters, no fires, no.
No uncles touching you.
Nah, like my parents provided a safe and secure upbringing where,
Yeah. The other one that I was scared actually was your dog.
the bull mastiff,
Yeah.
Roxy.
That one, he used to freak me out. And one day, your dad, like, we're in the computer room. I don't know where
That's where
you
got his
were.
12-inch anal from.
but your dad had brought this dog in, and this dog pretty much spent most of its time chained up when guests were around, right? Because it was quite big, and it was like it didn't suffer fools lightly, this dog. Anyway, he's brought her in, and he's like, no, it's fine, it's fine. And it was like the only time I'd ever seen your dog in the house either. Like it just was never normally, she was never normally allowed in when I was there anyway. Anyway, he's like made me sat there and allowed Roxy to sniff and, you know, carry on and do whatever. That's all well and good. But it led me into a false sense of security, thinking that I could now be chummy with your damn dog. And then like a week later it bit me. It was chained up and I'm like, yeah, I'll go pat it. we bros. And as soon as I put my hand out, man.
I remember that, eh?
Yeah, it bit me. And I'm like, okay.
Fucking yeah. Your dog bit me.
Thanks.
Actually,
That dog bit everybody once.
well,
Except your dad.
She bit me once. I still have a scar on my arm when she bit me. It was because I tried fucking taking her food away from her.
Look,
Cool.
It had bitten everybody except your dad. I think your mum had got done. I think all your sisters, your brothers weren't a thing back then.
No.
Yeah, everyone.
Good shit. What happened to it?
Can't remember what she died of. Sick, like leukemia or cancer or
The
something.
thing was insanely big for a mastiff. Like, mastiffs are a fairly big breed anyway, but this thing was just like, it would have been 60 kegs.
Decent sized dog. Not as big as the one I had when I was little. Like that was like 70 kilos. But yeah. Very different to the little rats that run around my house now.
Yeah.
Oh, how you've fallen.
They're okay. They annoy me
No,
sometimes.
you
but
like them because they're manageable.
they
and
are
you can lord over them.
manageable. Because I can lord over them. Look, they shit
They
me
are
off at
like-
times, but they are nice dogs that are quite affectionate and not
They're
too
a lap
annoying.
dog.
Yeah, they're a lap dog. They like a cuddle.
It's all good and well having a puppy as a lap dog, but when it gets as a big dog, it's not really a lap dog anymore.
There you go.
But yeah.
Another successful shoot from the hip. Eventually, we got there. It took like this whole episode took us to warm up a little bit.
I think it did, yeah.
I'm pretty wrecked.
Yeah, Josh needs a few beverages to get his usual zhoosh.
Maybe when you finish work, you just start drinking from then.
You're making me sound
Last
like
week-
an alcoholic.
Well, just at help.
Like, you're not bringing daddy energy. You're bringing tired father energy.
I actually slept well last night, but today's just been a long day. And I'll give it to the little lass. She is sleeping better, except last night, because she's in the bed with us. She sort of like splayed between me and my missus, and she'll wriggle over to me, put her head against my spine, and then like 5 minutes later, she's somehow on top of me, asleep. And I'm like, and I'm on my side. I'm like, this is, and she'll be asleep. Like you can hear her doing the whole sleeping breathe. You know, when you're like deep asleep, your head just like I'm just like, how
Yeah,
are you
you're breathing,
sleeping, kid?
That's impressive.
You look like an inverted U, which would be an N.
I've got a photo of one of my kids. I walked into their room and she was on the floor and just had her head up on the bed. And she was dead asleep. It's just like, what?
Yeah.
They're weird sometimes.
I have to admit, it's kind of nice. I like it when that, because it happened a few times now. I kind of like it when that happens. I'm like, oh, she's cuddling up to me. But then she wakes and she's like, oh, Dad,
Yeah.
where's Mum?
It's cute and annoying at the same time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's frustrating, actually, how she will just cry. She won't settle for me when she's upset. And as soon as the missus walks in, she just buttons her lip. I'm like, Oh, you just wait till you're older, champ.
Champing her.
This is when he was asking about how to discipline the child. Can you smack her yet?
Is it acceptable?
I can see raising your voice, like as soon as you raise a voice with a child, you've lost. And I can see that. Like, I cannot raise your voice because you can sort of bring your voice up a little bit to command a bit of attention. But I mean, when you cut stick at him, I can see how the kid would just be like, no,
lose it.
I can see that now that would become an issue in the future if he did that.
Sometimes it's necessary to berate them.
I don't think it's necessary. I think you just
sometimes
like
it is
because
when they're
you've been
being
watching too much violent porn.
Oh, jeez. Well, you're just going to attack anything I say from here on in. So that's end the podcast. End the podcast. We're all tired. We're all fading.
Yeah.
We got there in the end. Thanks for listening. It's been a good episode, I think.
Hey, if anyone wants to donate an air conditioner for our studio, that'd be lovely. Because it's as hot as balls in here, man.
In about a month, it's going to be freezing and it'll be cold out here. So
I've got an aircon here.
Oh, must be nice. In your library.
You're also 5,000 kilometres away.
3, but yeah.
Feels like 5.
Well, not to make you jealous, but I'm going for a deer hunt in a fortnight.
Of course you are. Where are you going?
Oh, I know who you spoke to.
Who did I speak to? Please, enlighten us.
Someone you mentioned the other day.
Oh.
We can wrap this up into the next week's potty.
Yeah, well, yeah. You can give us a pre-hunt rundown.
Mate, I don't even know if I can shoot straight at the moment. It's been that long. It has been way too long. And I have 100 rounds of Dasher sitting there. I'm going to just get comfy with that again because that thing is sweet. My little custom build from APRS. Oh, I love it. And then I'm going to check the zero on the 308.
Yeah, that's more where I'm at the moment. Just checking zero again and remembering how to pull a trigger.
Yeah.
It's been way too long. I'm getting itchy, but let's not delve into that just yet. It's time to wrap up the podcast.
Sorry, guys. Right when you're here to listen about hunting and shooting, we're wrapping it up for another episode of Send It Mate podcast because Caleb's a bitch.
Teasing, mate. We're leaving on a cliffhanger. Come back for more.
Once again, too much violent porn.
I think you should start your own podcast called Josh's Bible Studies.
All right, guys. Gotcha.
Come back next week. Hopefully you don't feel too ashamed with your sexual promiscuity. Can't even speak.
Feel ashamed.
You're all going to hell. Catch up.
G'day, dude and dudettes. Josh here. Do you find it hard to keep your long, hard barrels free from gun STDs? Maybe you need a clean out of your bore. If this is you, jump on over to highcaliber.com.au and use the promo code SENDITMATE to receive a 10% discount on all your gun cleaning needs. And remember, it's sexy to support Australian-made products. Everyone here at Send It Mate uses High Caliber, and we can promise you that it'll keep your firearms free from those pesky gun STDs.